J.S.Bach. Today, episode number 2 of the vlog. This channel I'm calling J.S.Bach. That's when we put the cello on the side and we start talking about music. And today's episode, as probably you saw somewhere around here, it's about Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. More specifically, my own contact and my own interaction with this big Baroque composer, mostly appreciated as the most important composer in the whole history of music. While he's so important, that's not so important as how much he's important for me. So today's episode is a little bit about my influence with Bach, when I knew him, and how was my trajectory with the Bach suites. Cheers. Johann Sebastian Bach is consolidated and spotted on the late Baroque period. The specialists used to consider that his death finished the Baroque period, because there's not like a real beginning and a real finish of each era. But after him, they consider that have another kind of style, and his sons become like a great composers on the next period. Another great importance for music is about the well-temperate system that Bach didn't discover it, but he really helped to diffuse between Europe and become like the visual model that we have today. But offshore, for sure, we have to consider the temperaments in Bach. He used to consider each tonality, different emotions, different parts of life, different parts of the totality. Even like the cello suites have the 60 suite for cello with squardatura, like for cello with a cello piccoli with one more chord, one more string, and one more high string, the E string. The 50 suite is with cello with squardatura, where you tone the C string, the A string, a tone above. And we have this kind of things about like the suite number 4. It's kind of rare to see like someone composing really in that tonality, because the jumps are so crazy. It's a lot of extensions. It's a little bit hard to think that really comes from the cello. Maybe he like explained it during the suite, but maybe the first fragment of the idea comes from the alaoud. I also play the guitar. I also like to play the guitar. And if you just put G major chord and tom ti ti ta ti ti, it's like almost like you are arpeggiating a guitar. For me, make more sense. Of course, like for the whole stuff, I'm very sure that he taught and he dedicated that for the cello. But there's details that we can consider here and there. Well, I didn't born in a musician's family. The first time I listened Bach was when I received a tape record with my 9 years old of Yo-Yo Ma. I found a guy in the train and he said like, "You never heard Yo-Yo Ma in your life? You must check it out." And he sent me by mail this record, this tape from Yo-Yo Ma that really inspired my sonority from the first ages. I also remember my father plays a little bit of the guitar too, and I remember he played some themes by Bach. But I also remember in my teenager era, like 14, 15 years old, I had to play Bach, right? Because everybody in the classical music must play. It's very standard. It's how you show like your Baroque knowledge and also phrasing and all that. So I remember like come for the class for the lesson, uh, and and I say like, wow, I don't really like Bach, you know, since for me a little bit uh, very solid, you know, like I like more big vibratos and people screaming and things going crazy. And it's interesting to see that because I really remember saying that kind of stuff. And it's not because I didn't feel the music of Bach. It's just not my time for really dig inside that. And many great cellists, they recorded multiple times during their lives, changing styles, changing fingerings, bowings, everything. Just reading the words in a way that you can understand it better. The first time that appears was after Pablo Casals, the great cello master. He played the whole Dvorak concerto. He comes and like bees, and he didn't want to play anymore, but he played the first time the bass suites um, in the beginning of the 9th century. But that becomes between the manuscripts of the cellists around the world, and they study that. Maybe not so much about like trying to get this stylistic from Baroque style, um, but definitely about the technique that it's employed there. That's very important. So Bach will be a recurrent theme in this channel. I will talk more in the other editions of the Mas Bar, and I hope you guys enjoy some records of Bach. Please put in the commentary below how is your thoughts about Bach? Do you enjoy Baroque music? And what's your favorite cello suite? See you next episode.